Welcome back to the Paramount Fitness podcast for a very, very exciting new feature, which is one or the first out of 12 exciting interviews with individuals who have achieved truly life changing results working with me privately. So, without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Lucie Chaligne to the first ever interview. Lucie worked with me a good 4+ years ago now, and I think that this is a really important lesson and something I want to bring attention to immediately, which is the fact that Lucie is still maintaining her incredible results 4 years down the line, which a lot of people don't actually go on to do. A lot of people, especially in the yo-yo dieting realms, they lose a little bit of weight, maybe 1, 2 stone, they put it back on, and maybe even and some. Lucie lost an astonishing 55 kilos, 8.5 stone, and has still maintained those changes 4 years down the line. So without further ado, like I said, Lucie, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
So I've got 5 questions for you today, and you're more than welcome to go into as much detail as you like. The reason why I wanted to interview 12 of my very best clients and share those stories is because it allows you to truly resonate with individuals who are in very similar position to you. A lot of people from the outside in can look at these transformation programs, look at before and after photos, and look at someone like you that went on to lose a life-changing amount of weight and go, I cannot do that. So I wanted to have the opportunity to ask you 5 very simple, straightforward questions. Like I said, you can go into as much detail with the answer as you like, to share your experience, your thought process, and also your journey, to enable somebody else to make their own decision on whether they truly believe it's possible for them too, much like yourself. So, question number 1 is, what was life like before working with me privately?
Okay. Yeah, very good question. Well, before you, I will say my life was obviously completely different. The way obviously I would say obviously, of course, around the nutrition was really poor. I thought it wasn't that bad, to be honest. But obviously working with you, I realized it was. But yeah, so my nutrition was terrible. I was, eating on the go, eating out all the time, never cook anything. And in terms of, I would say more my well-being or where I was mentally, always, and I'm still a very bubbly person, but in the back, behind all of these smiles, I was actually very uncomfortable with myself. I wasn't comfortable when I was going out with friends. I was always comparing myself with my friends, who my friends was actually, have actually a nice shape, if I might say. And yeah, it was just always thinking of how I could be, but never, get that, I would say, that step to change. Yeah, and obviously around my health as well, it wasn't great. So I had issue around on my stomach. So I'm French, so I don't know exactly the word, but I had issue in my stomach and that digestion. And that was very painful as well. I had monthly pain as well. And yeah, it wasn't, as I say, I was smiling around, but it was a difficult time for me. Really not comfortable and confident at all, even if I was hiding very well.
What was your experience when it comes to exercise, training, nutrition, and ultimately just looking after yourself prior to coming on board?
Well, exercising. So I was doing a little bit of exercise because I used to play badminton back in the day, I would say in France. But apart from that, I was a bit of a lazy bunch. Wasn't walking anywhere. I was always taking taxi or transport. I used to have a car, so I used to drive everywhere I go, even if it's for K or go to the local shop, who I feel ashamed now. And yeah, I wasn't doing much around workout, and definitely not doing anything around weight, for example, because I wasn't really aware of it and I was a bit scared because I think for me weight training is a bit scary. And around my nutrition, as I mentioned, I didn't thought it was that bad. And I used to say, I don't eat that much for some reason. And to be honest, I really thought I wasn't eating that much. I think I was just eating a lot of, or not many, but it was bad food, processed food, and convenient food, and I probably used to forget. Oh yeah, I already have a full English breakfast. I'm having a snack before lunch. Yeah. That chocolate bar I just had. So yeah, my nutrition was all over the place. I wasn't realizing how much I was eating, to be honest, or just eating when I want, when I fancy it. Because I like chocolate, I like chips, and all of this, like a lot of us, I guess.
I was going to say, don't we all?
Yeah, yeah.
So at this time, you were uncomfortable in your own skin. You were experiencing stomach and digestive issues. You had no confidence whatsoever. You classified yourself as lazy. What was the goal? What did you have in your mind's eye at that time? Was the goal to lose 55 plus kilos? Was the goal to go from a size 20 down to a size 8? What was the goal before you started?
So I think the goal I always had, and I always wanted to lose weight. I used to be overweight since I'm, child. So, and the first goal for me, I think it was just to be able to walk into a room, or go in enjoying myself in party, or things like that, without I feel ashamed. I was feel like I was feeling, oh my god, everyone's looking at me, looking at my arm, look how massive they are. And I think I shared to you before, but I had a story where I went with a friend, in a countryside, in a house share, and it was a hot tub, and everyone went in there, and I couldn't go there. So one of the goals was, I just want to be able to accept myself, and enjoy, and do this kind of things, put a swim suit on, and go into the hot tub. So that was the primary goal. And of course, around my health as well, because as I said, that issue, my stomach was very painful. And we never know what was wrong with it. I had a lot of exam and things like that. And it was just a terrible pain when I was eating some of the, I think probably very heavy fatty food, I think. But who knows? I never knew what it was, and it's gone now. So
we'll get to that in a minute. But so to summarize, you didn't necessarily have a weight goal. You didn't necessarily have a dress size goal. You just had a goal that was, I want to feel better about myself. I want to accept myself for who I am. But right now I'm not happy with who I am. So it needs to become a better version.
yeah.
And one of those things that you said there was, you went on a break with family and friends, and there was a hot tub, and you wanted to have the confidence to put your swimsuit on and get in the hot tub. And that doesn't come with a dress size. That doesn't come with a weight. That comes with a transformation, both internally and externally. Okay, I'm going to ask you this. What was your biggest limiting belief? What was the biggest story you were telling yourself as to why it couldn't happen?
Well, I would say, so yeah, I tried so many things, to be honest, but I just thought, kind of the excuse I think maybe some of us have, and I'll say now I'm very open into it now, but I used to say, oh, I have big bones, or I know that's silly, but some people used to say that to me, oh yeah, you have big bones, or just thinking that is genetic in my family, from my dad's side. We're generous, I would say, we like food, so I thought maybe it's something, it's kind of normal, it's just I put weight on easily, and I say I tried to lose weight before, so I just thought, yeah, it's never going to happen, because I think I was just making excuses as well, maybe, or inventing reason. Yeah, I have big bones, and it's genetic and all of that, so I can't lose the weight. So yes, yeah.
So this is totally normal, and I'm really pleased that you shared that. So a lot of that is self-doubt. a lot of that is it's not possible, genetics, big boned, whatever stories that we create ourselves, whether, 9 times out of 10, the stories that we tell ourselves there's no evidence behind any of it. But there has to be a tipping point, and there has to be what I call a leap of faith. Even though you doubted yourself, what was the tipping point? What was enough for you to go, you know what, I'm going to give this my damn best effort?
So when you mean I start to look into that, I, I don't really know even now how to explain. I think it was just it was just the timing, and to be honest, I don't know why, but that day when you came to where I used to work, I just thought, I don't know if it was your face, Lee, but I said, what, this guy is going to help me. And I think it was just probably in that time when you came in and when you walked into the store, I was just ready for some reason. And I think that's an important part as well. You have to be ready, and you have to be willing to put the effort on that time. I don't know why, but I did feel I was ready. And again, I don't know if it was you or not, but I just thought that guy's going to help me, and I can't explain that why. I think it's just, it's. I remember in the store, I say that to my colleagues, I'm going there. So I don't know, you might have something about you, I don't know. Because I had plenty
maybe. I'm still yet to figure out myself what it is, but maybe. So you're at a point now where you've made a decision. I'm going to ask you this, and this is not for me to stroke my ego, but you said earlier that you've tried everything. You've tried a lot of things. What made you choose me over every other coach that you have access to?
So when I came the first time, and I will remember that all my life, I walked into the studio you had on that point, and I was late first. So obviously, because I was late, you told me off, and I couldn't train on that day. And because I was late, I came on taxi as well. So, I could have walked there. I was about 40 minutes, I think. And you did say to me, I can see you came with a taxi. Where do you live? I said, okay, I live in town. And you say, okay, town is about 40-minute walk. Why did you not walk? And then I was like, wow, okay, so this guy is not going to let me, how do I say, he's going to give me, like a good, I don't know how to say it in English, but I said, oh, okay, that guy is not going to go around it. It's, it's going to be straightforward. I'm French, so I quite like this. I say, okay, he's on it. He cared actually how I came. He noticed I came by taxi as well. So I thought, okay, that guy, I think he's the guys, because in the beginning, I say, when you send me back, I say, all right, okay, I'm not coming back. And then I did think that's it. And I thought, okay, this guy's very care. So this is why I came back. Yeah.
I'm glad you put that in there, because if you hadn't have put that in there, that makes me sound terrible, by the way. When you're saying that, oh my God. But you've hit the nail on the head. And that's something that I very, sometimes find very hard to get across and articulate, the fact that I do, one, take into consideration every detail. Two, I do truly care. And immediately from the get-go, I always had your best interests at heart. And this is the thing, you can hire a plethora of coaches across the globe now, and they all promise the same thing. But there's a difference between promising and being ready to run through brick walls with someone to get it. And that's exactly what we did. So talking of going after it and getting it, what would you classify as your top 3, if you can, because I know you've gone on to achieve incredible things, but your top 3 biggest achievements whilst working together?
Okay, so the first one was, I can't remember how much weight it was, but when I did that 90 days with you, first, I remember because I lost quite a lot, and that first achievement of me grabbing that kettlebell, and you took a picture of me, lifting that kettlebell. This is the number one. I have that picture, and I will keep that picture forever, because it was very heavy kettlebell. Because as you said earlier, and it's not how much you lose weight, it's just to realize how, and how just lifting that weight, I was like, wow, this is not my back anymore. And so that is definitely number one, I would say. Number two, I'll say I did a lot of things after, that, because when you lose a lot of weight, you can do so much things, like things I wouldn't hope to do before, horse riding and go, run crazy distance and stuff like that. But the number two will be the race I did through the night. It was 12 hours. So it's the toughest, the European toughest tough mudder. And that's 12 hours running with obstacle through the night. You can't skip any obstacle. I did that, I think, 2 years ago, and that is something I would have never dreamed of doing it before. So that's my number two, that's for sure. And my number three, I will say, and even if it's not a big deal, but for me is when I went back again to a family or with friends away, I actually put that swimsuit on and I went to that swimming pool, or it was a pool actually, and I actually feel good. I was actually a bit of a show off, to be honest. I was actually like, I look good. So that would be my third one, because I think I never had that feeling before.
Love that. Absolutely love that. So I'm going to bring attention to those three, because I think a lot of people will be surprised that you haven't said, well, you went from 110 kilos down to 55 kilos. You lost half your body weight. Why is that not there? You went from a size 20 to a size 8. Why is that not there? Because a lot of people would think that they would be the first two on your list. And I love the fact that what you've mentioned there, I can picture it. You were in my gym at the time. You're holding a kettlebell. You're holding it in front of you with both hands. I remember you actually wore a grey tank top, and you're holding it up. And you've just got this massive Cheshire cat grin on your face, as if to say, holy hell, this is actually happening to me, for me, in front of my very eyes. So that is bringing attention to the process. At that point, you weren't a size 8. At that point, you weren't 55 kilos. You were on your way to it, which I think is why that moment is so important to you. The second one, with regards to the 12-hour toughest mudder, and I think that that's a really interesting thing to bring attention to as well. And you said this, losing weight gives you so much. Like life experiences, opportunities, chances, energy, confidence. You wouldn't have done any of the things that you've done since your transformation before your transformation.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. And then finally, how audaciously confident that is to go back to that same place, back to that hot tub, back to that swimming pool, and actually go in it. It's like putting your middle finger up and going, F you, I'm coming after you. That's what I wanted. And that's what started this whole process. So yeah, absolutely amazing. I actually think you've got probably thousands more achievements since then. Like I said, we've not worked together now for 4 years. You are still maintaining the result. You are still a size 8, size 10. You are still in and around 55, 58 kilos. What would you say has been the biggest thing, just if you can, the one thing that has switched up here in your mind that has enabled you to maintain results? Like I said at the start, most people don't maintain their results. Most people yo-yo diet for the remainder of their life. What's the one thing that's worked for you?
It's very hard. I think it's more like a group of, it's them of who I'm surrounding with. My partner, so the person I'm with now, because I changed my life around. He's in the same, I would say, lifestyle when I am. So I help, because obviously when, with your group of the person that I was with, when I start with you, I have friends from that groups. And, when all your friends is moving around and things like that, they're all, a lot of them still working out and things like that, it's just surrounding yourself to people who's actually on the same lifestyle. So I think it's all of that. And to be honest, I think it's important to say, because obviously I know your client since probably 2 or 3 years, but we always keep contact. And I think it's maybe a bit crazy, I think, for me, is that because you could have just, okay, that's, I did my job with her next, So again, I say it's the people around it. If I have a doubt, even if I'm not your client, so I'll ask you a question before, and I like to follow your post and things like that. So it's just keeping, I think, always have on your back of your mind these things, and just look back into it. But it's a lot of people around you, I think. That circle of people, I think. And I think you mentioned before the 5 people around you, your close circle. I think that's probably why, to be honest. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know, and it do feel easy as well. I know you say only one, but and I think his way work with you is before I had extreme diet or extreme ways to I had to do, or you can't eat this, you can't do that, and or you have to do this. It was too extreme. When with you, it was just more like the base you gave to me was you can eat everything you want. It's just what I learned from it is just cook from scratch, and keep. It's just the tool what you gave to me as well. It was not just for like a 6 month, kind of type of diet. It is just more like I often say it was easy to lose the weight. To lose the weight with you, to be honest, I think, because it wasn't like drastic restriction. I tried a liquid diet. I tried all of these diets because you can't keep them. So yeah, sorry, I did give 2 here. The people around you, and I would say the simple ways that or the tools you gave to me, who I think for me is something I can use every day. I'm not putting any weight back because it's just the way I am now. It's just actually easy just to keep up and follow with what I learned. So I know maybe sound a bit, because I know some people can't do it or go back to a certain weight. For me, just it feel easy, to be honest, to stay like that. And
I think what you've said there is very, very true, very accurate for a lot of people. The fact that the first point you raised is your circle of influence, the 5 people you spend the majority of your time with. You mentioned a new partner. That new partner wasn't even on the scene when we were working together. This is a new relationship that you now had the confidence to explore and to engage in and embark on. A lot of people feel that they have to, completely detach themselves from the 5 people that they most spend their time with now in order to get a new group of 5. You don't. You can just, audit the frequency that you do expose yourself to them with and be quite cutthroat and be like, right, well, you're a bit of an energy zapper. I'm not going to surround myself with you that much. And this doesn't even have to be in person. This can be social media. This can be at work. It can be people that just bring your food down, etc. But you've really focused your attention on making sure that the 5 people that you spend the majority of your time with, or at least that you expose yourself to, social media, at work, whatever, are 5 people that live the way you want to live, have the energy you want to aspire to have, can help you, can pull you up rather than pull you down. And by having 5 really positive, influential people around you that, like you said, have the same lifestyle as you, it makes it very, very easy. The second thing that you said was with regards to tools and resources, and that really comes down to education. And from working with me, that's heavily what I focus our attention on, is making sure you know what you need to do, when you need to do it, why you're doing it, how to do it, and what to expect as a result of doing it. And you fully submerge yourself into that educational process, which has enabled you to become educated. So you don't have to worry about liquid diets. You don't have to worry about fads and fixes anymore, because you go, right, I'm knowledgeable and I can use this for the rest of my life, which is why you find it easy. What's been the 3 biggest lessons you've had about yourself since your transformation?
What do you mean? What I learned since I lost the weight? Sorry.
Yeah. What have you learned most about yourself?
Well, first that I can do it, because I say in the beginning, I thought I was going to be. I had a point where I thought I was just going to be overweight for my life, and that's what it is. I have big bone. So that's what I learned, that I can actually do it, and I can achieve things if I put the time and effort into it. Obviously, it's not going to be given to me, but I just have to to do it and take action. What I learned as well about, that weight training is not a scary thing. um, and that you don't need to be a bodybuilder, or you don't need to have big muscle to go to the gym and do some weight. Because before as well, that was, something I thought, you have to be quite healthy and big and muscly to go to the gym and lift weights. And what I learned as well about myself, that the most I think that I said, the first one was I learned that I can do it, and that I can actually enjoy now myself, and I can have I know it's somebody silly, but a good life, like just enjoy, and I can do whatever I want. If tomorrow I want to do, I know it's silly, but if I want to go to Go Ape, or if I want to horse riding and things like that, I can do it. I don't feel I have limits. This is what I learned now. So it's just, I probably would be able to do it whenever I was overweight. Some stuff, no, I couldn't do it. But yeah, it's a tricky question, but yeah.
I think you've summarized it very, very well. You've now got evidence that you can do it, which gives you confidence. It gives you courage to tackle further things, because let's face it, yes, you lost weight, but that didn't mean that you could become one of Europe's toughest mudders by doing 12 hours through the night. That gave you the courage to then step onto that platform and do that. And, then it's enabled you to do various other things, because like I said, your list is endless. But yeah, your transformation is absolutely, well, it's life-changing, it's inspiring, it's we said this prior to hitting record, it's one transformation that a lot of people don't believe to be true. They look at your photos and go, that's not possible, there's no way she did that, and she did that in 9 months as well. So it's an absolutely incredible feat. Final question. You have invested in yourself. I totally understand why people have trepidation and they're a little bit anxious about it. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about working with me personally, working with me privately, in order to achieve life-changing results like you have? What would you say to someone who's on the fence?
I would say to them, just don't think, do it. I had as well the doubt in the beginning, obviously, like we all do. But I would say, think of what you want to achieve, and I would just say that's your guy. He will help you to do it. I would say to them as well to really think of what is important for them, what is your goal in life, and think of, imagine everything you can do if you actually go into that transformation. Like for me, like you mentioned, that I can do so many things now. So I would say to really think for that, because sometimes, you think of, like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be honest as well, and transparent is that, it's a waste of money. I try so many things, or the cost of it and things like that. When I start with you, I was working on a shop, and you know how much someone working in a shop earn. But I thought that the money spent was so much worth it. I think you have to think of, if that's one of your stuff to join, is, I think for me, money wasn't coming into it. You have to think of what you want, where you want to be. And I tried a lot of PT. I tried a lot of people before. And obviously not saying, because, I think it definitely was the best for me. And not just because, I know you and I work with you. It's just, as you say, that you really care, and you spend a lot of time, make sure we're actually achieving. It's the community you build around it, who is, I think, for me, one of the big important things and fact as well is, if I used to, or even now I need to talk to you, you're here, and you generally care. And I think that's a big important thing. But I know it can be scary for a lot of people, and I was on the beginning, because as we mentioned earlier, I said I will never lose. I always stay overweight and things like that. But again, I'm going to repeat myself, but you have to think of what is your goal. And I would say to these people, you shouldn't be worried to not achieve everybody, that's for sure. Because I saw so many other people as are working with you, and I know the way you work. So yeah, I would say just do it. So worth it. If you want to turn your life around, do it. Because I think we didn't mention that as much, but it's the support as well. Like, it's very important, because you can self-taught. You can go to internet, YouTube, or like I used to know what to do. I know I have to eat less, and I know I have to exercise more. I know that, but it's just having the right information before, as you say, the how, the why, and I think it's a lot of the support as well that you gain from you. And again, I say I had before the PTs, and it wasn't as much support. The support you gave and the support the community gave me, it was just incredible. Never feel alone, never feel alone as well. So yeah, I'll say just you should do it. I'm so glad I did it. So yeah.
Perfect. Perfectly summarized. No, I really appreciate it. I'm not sure whether to control my smile or to go get a box of tissues because I'm welling up here. But no, absolutely amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing stuff. Well, look, that brings us to the end of this very first absolutely incredible, life-changing transformation interview with Lucie. One of 12 very carefully selected interviews that are going to be hosted throughout 2024. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, or if you would like to inquire about working privately with me, feel free to reach out to me on any social media platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yes, I have succumbed to the world of TikTok. It's very much a rabbit hole, so I'm a post and get out kind of guy. But yeah, genuinely, any questions. But Lucie, thank you ever so much for your time. As always, super proud to have had the opportunity to have worked with you. Super proud to have been able to assist you in your journey and point you in the right direction, and super proud of what you went on to achieve. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care.